Don't complain, just make more videos. Make 100 videos, then judge your progress. And that is the Mr. Beast quote that rings in my head most days. Roll the clip.
Any of you listening, if you, especially if you have 0 videos on your channel, your first video is not going to get views. Period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to get views. I can very confidently say that. All you need to do, this applies to people who have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. And then on your 101st video, we'll start talking like maybe you can get some views, but your first 100 are going to suck.
That's the message I'm forced to tell myself as a creator, and maybe something to remind yourself of every day. Hi, my name is Bobby, and I'm an iOS software developer, and I've developed an ecosystem of 13 apps for iPhone, iPad, and macOS called Brilliant Apps that are designed to make creators and create entrepreneurs' lives easier in life and business. So why should you remind yourself of that every day? Well, it's pretty simple. Let me explain. In the early stages, you don't have critical mass, meaning you don't have enough views, subscribers, comments, watch time, hours, etc. to really determine how well that you're performing on YouTube. And in all honesty, I'm doing this video as a reminder to myself, and hopefully it'll resonate with you also. So despite being a creator for over 10 years on YouTube, I do sometimes feel like a rookie to the platform. And the reason being is of the current stage of this channel at the time of recording. Things such as your subscriber count, these are still vanity metrics. However, they do actually help you get the attention of new viewers, especially when you're educating, right? Social proof, results, experience, these all can help you strike a chord with your desired audience. But sometimes just good old fashioned father time is the only answer to your questions. And I say that because YouTube is a long game. Sure, some get instant success, but for the most part, it's about consistent uploads in the beginning, which is what I constantly have to remind myself of. And that's the reason why I put that at the beginning of the video with the Mr. Beast clip. So why is time usually the thing that you cannot get around? Well, for one, YouTube is a mature platform. So from what I've learned so far, nobody really blows up quickly on YouTube. And it's for the simple fact that first you need the 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers. And that generally can take time to reach. So what can you do as a creator to expedite this process? Well, as many experts say, packaging, right? So your thumbnail design, video title, first 30 seconds, these are all key areas to obviously improve on. But the better that you get at those, the higher your chances increase of achieving those monetization metrics. Personally, I have to unattach myself from those goals in the beginning because my focus is improving something each video. And first, to get 100 videos on this channel, and the metrics will be achieved eventually. However, as a creator, we must understand we don't have control over those things. Hence why focusing on self-improvement in your craft is a much better strategy than chasing these metrics. And if you look at those stats every single day, then all you'll do is just drive yourself insane. Zooming out a little does help, because if you just say to yourself, look, I'm going to make videos every week and improve something each time for the next 10 years, then I will judge my progress accurately based on a considerable amount of time. Now, when I said that, in your head, you might be thinking, man, Bobby, that's a long time to measure results. 10 years? Really, bro? Which is a fair point. But you gotta realize that in order to truly measure results, it must be over a long enough time horizon. That's what happens in finance. You have to measure returns over a long enough time horizon. 6 months, 12 months, 18 months in YouTube world is still relatively a short time period. And when I tell myself 10 years, I give myself the leeway to focus on what matters, which is making videos consistently and improving something each video I upload one way or another. So the complaints then seem to occur less when you're in that type of mindset. Another way to look at your YouTube growth is as a game, right? I've found that by gamifying the process makes it seem a lot less strenuous and actually makes it more fun. So you learn the rules of the game, then you try and get better at it, and each time you play. So looking at it as play and creativity instead of work, definitely helps me stay locked in. I don't know about you, but that's what works for me. So each subscriber is like a resource collected in the video game, right? And so on and so forth. And I'd say if you're doing YouTube to advertise and market your business, then you have to go with what works, which from my research is social proof, results, testimonials, etc. Or simply add I earned X in Y period of time. And as soon as you do that, you immediately capture the attention of the viewer because most people's desires, let's be honest, for growth are usually tied to a monetary gain, some kind of monetary figure they want to hit. And I like to use this analogy when it comes to the whole thing around social proof, which you see on short form and long form media, right? So if you wanted to get fit or build muscle and you had the choice of one personal trainer, A, who's overweight, not fit, no muscle, or personal trainer B, who is the correct weight, fit, and has muscle showing, then you're more than likely going to choose trainer B because they align with your goals and they have the results that you're looking for. And this is all part of the show me, don't tell me policy that's on YouTube and pretty much most of social media when it comes to selling, especially in sales, education, course selling, coaching, mentoring, mastermind niches, right? So people need to be shown, not told. And that's how they make decisions on whether to buy whatever it is that you're selling, is how people are wired today. And I don't think there is much you can do about it. That's just my take, right? Case in point, the more videos you make, the better you can get. The more videos you make, the more watch time hours you can collect. The more videos you make, the more chance you can increase your subscriber count. So, using tools like Brilliant Markets and analyzing creator assets on the BMI 500 index, I've seen that creators with between 500 and say 1,000 videos or more tend to have more subscribers than those with less than that amount. So those sub counts can start from say 500K upwards. But when you see this data at scale and you start using these new creator tools like Brilliant Markets, then things start to make a lot more sense as a creator, and it can really give you perspective on what you need to do in your own niche. And studying how others operate within your sector is just good practice, to be honest, especially in the beginning. So until you hit that 100 videos mark, don't beat yourself up. Just keep doing the work and improving something each time on every video that you upload. And if you want to know what create tools can improve your workflow, then watch this video next where I show you what I pay for in 2025 as a creative strategist and iOS Swift UI software developer. Thanks for watching the video. See you on the next one.